Hey guys, it's your boy Pat. Welcome back to the next episode of the Hollow Down Cigar Lounge. We're going to smoke a first time brand on the show today. We're going to bring up Blackbird Cigar, but first of all, we got our two OG homies. You got Ryan back on the show over here, somewhere over here.
What's up?
Yep.
And then I'm getting used to this. Chad's down here.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
What's going on? I even got
Eventually,
it right.
I'll
It
get
was
this pointing backwards
amazing.
thing. It's like the Brady Bunch up in here. Well, this is a Toro stick, so unless you guys have any objections, I say we go ahead and smoke before we start rattling our mouths off.
Yeah, let's get them going.
Today we are smoking a Blackbird Cuco, if I'm pronouncing that correct. That right? Correct?
Cuckoo, cuckoo. Yep.
Cuckoo, right? Um, so words are hard, as Johnny Bravo used to remind me all the time. So show this band here, and obviously we'll have a close up for you just in a second as well. But this cigar boasts a Brazilian wrapper with an Indonesian binder, and all of the filler is Dominican. The listing that's on Cigars Daily is where I pulled the listing from this time. Says that it should be around a $9 to $10 cigar. The expectations is a medium to full blend, notes of wood, pepper, dark chocolate, and salted butter. Interesting.
Huh?
So
I tell you, right off the bat, it is a beautiful looking cigar.
it
I mean,
is.
very veiny, dark, oily. It looks like it's got a triple cap on it or so, because I just did a nice deep V cut on there. So
That's what
I
I did
love
too. A
that.
deep V.
That's exactly what I'm about to do because that cap does. It may be a triple because you got the underling, and then there's if that's a double, it's a very good double.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably a triple, because that's a pretty solid cap.
Well, if I had my
Definitely got
glasses
some
on, I would
pepper
tell
in
you.
it. Cold draw got some pepper in it.
Okay, that's interesting. It's got like a sweet aroma to it. Well, I'm gonna light these up.
Yeah, this is so. I've never had any Blackbird cigars. Just so you guys know, this is my absolute first.
I've had the I've had a couple. The Superb, which fits its name, and I believe the other one I've had is the Rook. I've got several of them set aside for us to bring on the show, so we'll kind of gradually work through quite a bit of them. But I think those are the only two that I've had, unless I'm forgetting one.
Now, Ryan, you're a big fan, aren't you? Don't you smoke some Blackbird? I think I've seen
I
you
have
post
smoked a
before.
couple of them. I have not
Just a
had this
few?
one though. Yeah,
Okay. I didn't
just
know how
the
many you had.
Superb.
I think I'd seen you post them before.
I've I've heard a lot of good things about them, and I actually got this hat, can't clip my wing, when I bought all these samplers for the purpose of the show.
Very nice.
I'd heard a lot of good things about them and figured it was, if I'm seeing
Wow.
that many good reviews, worth
So
going through and trying out.
I'm right
Man,
here.
that
I'm
aroma.
about 4 puffs in, and the last 2 puffs, there's like a sweet tingle on my tongue. When I'm done with exhaling the smoke or getting it out, there's a sweet tingle on my tongue. Is that you guys having that or no?
I've got the
Wondering if it's
sweet,
something I ate or no.
I've got sweetness in the aroma. I'm not getting it on the draw, but I do have. I could see where you'd probably get in the tingle because there's just enough. I don't know if it's a spicy or pepper, not an intenseness, but just a little dab right there. So
Yeah, it might be my Dr. Pepper too. So my pairing.
picking up one of those 23 flavors, brother.
That's right.
There we go.
I tell you one thing I noticed right away is I love the draw on this.
Absolutely.
This mine has a super nice open airy draw.
Very dairy draw.
Yep. That's always a plus for
pumping out
me.
some smoke.
That goes right to the plus column for me on any cigar.
And it's airy, but it's not too light where you're
Nope.
not getting any resistance. It's just super smooth draw.
I
So
have
we're
to
three
say
for
that's
three
been
on the draw.
consistent with any of the other two that I've had. They're all just constructed really well and open draws in them.
Like ADV, they run the open draws on everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a brand I'll have to look into a little bit more then, because I like open draws.
So what I can tell you, and this will be a long-term teaser. So we do have several others that I have set aside for us to smoke on the show. We've got. Let me see if I can pull up our list real quick.
Mm. I'm
I
getting
know.
Yeah,
I know
cinnamon
we've
right
got the
now.
Rook.
That might have been what you're tasting, the cinnamon on the very back end of this one.
cinnamon, yeah, like a
Yep.
baking spice almost, but it was
Yep.
sweet, like sweet cinnamon.
And it's like after
And,
the pepper goes away because it's not really strong on the pepper. So like once that went away, it was just very subtle sweetness there.
and it was on my tongue, right on like almost the tip of my tongue. It wasn't in the back of my palate.
Yeah, after a few extra puffs, that tingle is a little bit stronger for me as well. It was barely that first, but I'm getting it a little bit. I still only get the sweetness on the aroma though, so I'm not picking that up on my tongue like you are. But
Yeah, you're coming off of a 3 day being sick there last week too, though. You might not have all your.
that's fair.
You had a couple of days you were down and out.
Might not have all my taste buds back yet.
Yeah,
Mm.
I had a period like that after I got the COVID, and man, it was a couple of months before I could really taste cigars well again.
Yeah,
I didn't smoke any good stuff for a while.
that'll run havoc on your palate.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Drew.
no. I was thinking we got Ryan on the show. We should do a shed update.
Yeah, you want me to? I can
Let's
Yeah,
grab.
let's
do
get
it.
a little pano
Not much
view.
has changed around. There's a coyote skin hanging up, the wood stove going around.
Yeah,
with
we
the
didn't get
TV
to
and
see
all
the wood
this.
stove last time. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm
So
not
is that
burning
all
now.
steel panel? Is that steel paneling back there?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
cool.
I got a hold of a guy that tore down an old farmhouse in Pennsylvania, and I ended up buying like 18 sheets of it, and tearing apart the pallets, putting the wall, doing the tin on the walls. And like I said, it's only like probably 40 some degrees here, so I just got the little heater. I'm not even burning the wood stove. I'd be sweating. I'd be in my bathing suit in here.
Yeah, it's warmed up a little here too.
I saw that infrared heater. That looks like it may be the exact same one I've got over here.
Yeah, it's like
Home
44
Depot
here
special.
today, so that's what I use as an infrared too. It keeps me
I
getting
have to
warm.
laugh at the difference between my Southern boy antics. You said it's only 40 degrees. And a couple days ago, I was like, holy crap, it's 40 degrees.
No, we're excited
It's been
because it's
brutal.
40. We're excited because it's 40 degrees. We're like,
That's warm weather for you boys.
right
Yeah,
now
I
it
mean, we've
is.
had snow for almost 3 weeks on the ground. It's been nuts.
Yeah. Is yours melting now, Ryan?
Yeah, finally. Like, we had 60
Yep.
degree weather yesterday out of the blue, and it just pummeled the snow except for
Oh,
where the sun doesn't
60.
shine.
Wow.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, this is the warmest day we've had at 44 here for a good 2 weeks or so. But
We had 3 or 4 days of. We actually had 3 or 4 days where it actually got down in the teens. It didn't last long, and it's raining right now, but it's back up in the 70s. It's weird. I don't get it, but we're where I'm at. So there is, and I've said I'm in Shreveport, so this isn't a geographical surprise, but Northwest Louisiana, there's one of the biggest Air Force bases in the area, and they've got a lot of radars and all kinds of things, and it literally affects the ozone and the cloud cover. So when I lived in East Texas, I was always hear about it. They called it the Barksdale bubble, and I just always assumed it was just throwing the Doppler radar off. But it actually, like, the cloud storms will come and like split around the city, so that the huge winter storm, one where you got a lot of snow that stretched from like South Texas all the way up.
Yeah.
It literally split, and I was watching it on radar. East Texas, literally an hour away, got like 4 inches of snow. Eastern Louisiana, South Louisiana, including New Orleans, got like 6 inches of snow. Arkansas was like 6 to 8. We didn't get nothing. But then you go immediately east, and they were getting 2-3 inches again. Like the storm literally just split and came right back around. It's the weirdest phenomenon, and it happens with rain, happens with snow. So when we actually get legit snow and ice here in the northwest of Louisiana, it is a rare occurrence. It's the craziest thing.
But you didn't get any in this recent snowfall at all?
None. We got a little bit of rain. It didn't even turn into sleet. I mean, we got just enough rain on the edge, but all the snow literally just circled around us. And
you know, our buddy Gil, he's down there in Louisiana, and he got hammered.
Yeah, pretty
He said
much
it's the first time it snowed there in 62 years.
Holy cow.
The entire rest of the state got it, except for our region.
It was 1961. Yeah. So it would have been like 62 years, 63 years. 1961 and 1962.
He must be farther south than I am, because they almost never get it. It's getting too close to the Gulf.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, I had to give the old shout out for the swag.
Hell yeah.
On the website, so anybody watching, jump on in and grab some. And then
that's the new Gildan one?
That's the new Gildan. It's super soft. The design looks great. Colors, you can pick all kinds of different ones. So make sure you guys check that out. And shout out to Pat with the sign too, man. That thing is awesome. The sign back in the backdrop.
Yeah, so let me pull this up, because I'm gonna shout out this real quick, because this
that's amazing.
This is one of my Christmas gifts from the wife. So I was working on coming up with some sort of backdrop. I've got the Cigar beige flag over there. I ordered a hollow down flag, part of the new swag. I ordered one for myself, but she got me this, and this is badass. And it just to show, it is neon lit up. So she surprised me, got a hold of my logo files, and I still don't know what company she did, so I can't go see how much she paid for it. But
it's all good.
Right, but it is the coolest thing. So I finally got it hung up out here on the backdrop. It is sick.
The best kind of gift too, because you were not expecting that.
No, now I just got to figure out where to. I'll play with it later and get rid of the cable before the next show. But it's man, I'm stoked. It was the coolest Christmas gift I gotten. I knew she ordered something, because one of our friends came up to me and just started laughing, jumping, giggling, one of the girls. And she was like, "You are going to freaking love your Christmas gift." And then she ran away. I was like, what the hell? She was So it arrived a couple days before Christmas, and I was not allowed to wait for Christmas to open it. So
she made you open it early.
Yeah, like she was getting ready to go to work that day. It showed up. Like she's about to walk out the door, and she was a few minutes, like not late to work, but late to what her normal time is. She normally gets there early, because she was making me open it like within minutes of it being delivered. So she was ready for it.
Yeah. I'm starting to get some chocolate in this. I don't know if you guys have got
chocolate.
Were you going to say chocolate? Yeah.
Yes.
A little chocolate.
Just hit it. And I'm like, I'm not far into it, so.
I'm a little past you. I've been smoking a little faster, so I think it's going to get even more ramped up as you smoke, because I'm probably, 10 or so puffs farther in than you are.
I may or may not be about to get it. I've got some sort of like chalky, which is normally what I feel when I'm about to get a new flavor. I don't have it yet, so we'll see if I'm just behind you or not.
I've ashed twice already, so.
I'm getting close to my first one. But yeah, with the swag, so I caught myself muted that time. I've been doing good about not muting myself.
You weren't muted. You were good. Unless you just turned it right on and off.
I saw it as soon as I did it.
Okay.
So, as I know I've said it off the air. I've probably said it on the air. we had some decent merch before. I was just frustrated with the vendor. Had some quality issues. I absolutely hated that it excessively charged shipping per item instead of a group order. So we went on the rampage looking for a new one, and I'm very very happy with Printful and the swag group that we got now. So it actually gives me the option. I can still pull out the cheap products if you need some type of fundraiser or event thing like that. But core merch, I actually have the option to pull out the Gildens and like the Richardson hats. So I actually get to pull the good quality stuff as well, and it's not overpriced. You're not paying $70 for that hoodie.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So there's some places that they charge excessively, and that was a big point for me too. Is it seems more normal pricing, in the $20-$30 range for the hats and the hoodies versus, overpriced. So I'm
The
happy with it.
shipping, yeah, the shipping on the last thing was bogue because you had to pay per item. So like, I ordered 3 or 4 things, and it cost me like $50 to ship 4
Right.
things.
You know,
when you can put them in the same box for $12, it's like
You kind of expect. I understand. The on-demand stuff comes from different sub vendors. I get that, but usually, you have like an initial shipping charge, and then if you add an item, they might throw an extra dollar or something. That company was throwing a brand new entire shipping charge per item, and it just astronomical. I hated it.
Yeah.
So
well, these sweatshirts, I'm sure I can't wait to get mine because I have a green one coming. But I told you
Oh, yeah.
yesterday I didn't care for the last round because they were a little spongy, I guess is the best expression for it. But
yeah, it was a cheaper brand, and they didn't have the option for me to
but I
pull some of the bigger stuff. So
I
now
did
we
like
do.
the hats though because like we talked yesterday, you're gonna have to put in a flat bill option.
I am. I did.
You got to do that for Chad.
So
Gotta have
I
a flat
did.
bill.
So you've got the Richardsons. Here's the OG hat. It's got the true flat bill. I do believe I looked after you told me that, but I haven't actually gone back into the product creation page. I do think that I do have the option to pull that flat bill, and hopefully, if I'm correct, by the time y'all are seeing us say this, it'll be there because I'm pretty sure it is there. I just got to get on there and
I
find
know
it.
Richardson has flat bills because Saka makes flat bills and the standard 112s or whatever you guys like with the bent rim. I
Yeah.
think it's a 112.
Yeah, the 112. I forget the number of the other one, but I do remember, when I was first making it, I was trying to get the core stuff on, so I was just doing the basic stuff first when I was switching over. But I do think I saw that, so I'll get on there and stop being lazy.
But what you never had on the other site were slides.
Did you get you some, Chad?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's what I
nice. You're
told
gonna,
Patt.
be, you're gonna be using them on the cruise,
On
aren't
the
you?
cruise, yep, that's what I said.
Exactly
I'm
right.
wearing those suckers all over the place on the
And
cruise.
I'll
man.
overlay these right now because you've got the smoking cow on one side, and then it has I guess I'm backwards. The smoking cow on one side, and then has the rest of the hollow down Cigar Lounge logo. So together, they kind of pull the logo. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yep. I was
And
like,
there's-
no one will have these, and if I leave them somewhere, no one will swipe them. Well, maybe somebody will swipe them, but it's pretty obvious they're mine. I don't have to
Right.
walk around and look for my sandals or slides. When you're on the deck on the cruise, you go walk by these chairs. There's a whole bunch of black, sandals, slides. Mine will be white. I'll be able to pick them out from a mile away. Remember where my chair is, whatever. So I'm looking forward to it.
There's some cool stuff. So thanks for wearing it, Ryan, shouting it out because there's some cool stuff that I'm hoping to expand and put on there because
Well,
y'all aren't
Justin
the
put
only
his
ones
flag
that
up.
ask about swag.
Yeah, Justin put his flag up today. He posted a picture of it. It's huge.
Yeah, it's a full 3x5 flag. It is a
3
proper
feet by
flag.
5 feet. It is huge.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I thought it was 18 inches by 30 inches or something like that, like about that
Nope.
big.
It's a
giant.
full flag, and it's still what was it, like $27 or something like that?
It was under 30.
I know it's
bucks,
under 30
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yep, I've got one on the way too.
So cool stuff. Well, Ryan, we've been kind of doing this. This is absolutely not cigar related, but we kind of pull this show with general conversation, and we try to uplift each other. There is a book that we talked about, and I threw a joke at Chad about a few shows back, but we decided to wait until we brought you on the show for honest reasons. Um, there's some things that you do in your life that I feel like you would be able to respond to some of this. So there is a book. Let me pull this up because I want to show everybody. So there is a book called The Genius Habit. It is by Laura Garnett. And the joke that I told Chad was that he's already a genius. He just doesn't know it. So he's been waiting for me to tell him. But this,
yeah, I'm waiting for you to tell me how, because I still not getting it.
So, a little bit of positivity on this show today. So the world's a negative place, so why not talk about something good? So the book kind of goes into the concept. It focuses on like your job and your work first, because that's usually where we all complain and stumble about, is dealing with things at work, dealing with coworkers, dealing with managers, and we have a problem carrying that into our home life sometimes, which is a hard thing not to do. Yeah. So the book kind of focuses on, if you can figure out that you're a genius at work, which we're going to explain, then the rest of your life, you can kind of carry it over. Yeah. But the biggest point that it has, and I've got some notes here because I don't want to misspeak any of this, is this: tapping into your genius is less about changing yourself and more about cultivating the gifts you already have. So
that's good.
I feel like the world, and especially generation, is that instant gratification. Well, it's faster to go get something else and to go get something from somebody else and bring somebody into your life to elevate you than it is to build yourself up. For a good example of sports fans, you can tell the difference in high school, the teams that started at a young age building the entire program. So you work on the skills you already have and just make yourself better, versus dropping money to go get these people and kids that are going to come in for 1 year and move away, right?
Yeah.
So obviously this isn't a football book, but easy conversation for a sports head like me. And they actually talk, which I thought this was interesting, and this is kind of why I said Chad's already a genius, is, hey, we all grew up thinking that IQ was, here's your test, here's your number, you are what you are. You're either an idiot or you're a rocket scientist or somewhere in between. And they're starting to figure out that the IQ number is not a static number, it's dynamic. So they're actually, finding out that people are taking IQ tests and stepping out of your comfort zone and, doing new things and doing more training and, working on your emotional stability, and then come back and you're testing higher because you're activating more of your thought process. So there's these 5 things that it talk about, and this is kind of what I wanted to spit out, and I have a feeling, Ryan will be able to kick back on this, is it says the genius habit involves applying these principles and behaviors to your job first. One is it's challenge, impact, joy, mindfulness, and perseverance. Challenge is literally challenging yourself to perform better. Impact, find the purpose for the job that you do, such as, lifeguards averting fatalities. Find out you're not just doing this for a paycheck. What are you doing and why?
Yeah.
Understanding that true joy comes from having a purpose, not goals. We're all goal setters. Goals are good, but understand why you're setting the goals. Mindfulness, avoiding negative thinking, and perseverance, being resilient and overcoming rough setbacks. And that is the point on the spot, Ryan. That was exactly the point that I thought about, because I know with the ministry that you do, you deal with people who are dealing with a lot of setbacks and rough times in what y'all do. So I kind of wanted, and obviously we don't have time to read the whole book, but I kind of just wanted to kick back and see what y'all's ideas might be on, this idea, and just focusing on resiliency and purpose versus, the instant gratification. And and the crap we tend to do now.
Yeah, when you said joy comes from having a purpose and not goals, that's the key right there. I mean, that statement in itself is, we chase joy all the time, but there's a difference from joy that, we think we have and true joy that we experience. That is definitely something that, with my line of work, that I definitely feel, and the impact that we're able to help and put on others that are struggling with the day to day, feel like they've been neglected or left alone, and for me personally, finding my purpose, 4 years ago was huge. You go your whole life almost trying to find out what your purpose is in life, and when I got plugged in with the ministry, I was like, holy crap. I didn't learn construction for me. I learned construction so I can glorify God and help these people out on the day to day. That's my purpose.
Right.
So that was huge. That was a game changer for me. That really turned my perspective around, turned my goals around. It was me shooting for a legacy.
Lost you right at the end, Ryan.
You there?
No.
Okay.
Oh, but we got you. It was right at the end.
But
So.
yeah, just finding that purpose and making a legacy that you can leave behind. Just the impact that you can have on others, and it's really just showing people in the everyday world that it's good to help others and do for others, not just for yourself. We live in a world where we want to gratify ourselves. We want to feel that it's all me, and that's not what we are about. It's not me. It's you. How can I help you? How can I get you built back to having your life together? Our motto
Right.
is to build access to hope, and that hope is being restored with what we get to do. So it's pretty awesome, and that what you're describing in this book is right on point with that too. Because we view ourselves differently than what we really are. We discredit ourselves to what we're capable of doing, and we make things more difficult in our lives than they really need to be. But social media and the life that we live nowadays, everybody's in a comparison and what is going on and how can I keep up with people. But it's just simple things. You go back to the times when our grandparents were around and they raised us to go help people out and go do for
Yep.
others, and those things got lost there in the world that we are in now. So
This,
For sure. Yep.
this, and the thing that you said right at the end is that we make things more difficult. Is we are, I can't even say it's just like my generation because I feel it's been, probably our grandparents' generation, great. The last couple generations and the new ones, it's kind of just progressively gotten worse. That we overanalyze, we overthink, we overcomplicate. And one of my grandfathers, um, he's retired after 33 years on the job and couldn't stop working, but he turned his work into he helped the Arkansas mission builders, and
mm,
they provided free labor for all these churches and facilities and church families when something happened or they needed new work, and that's all he did. And I learned watching from him, you got to take care and be confident in what you do, but at the same time take that and try to serve other people in some capacity. And it doesn't always mean, in this case, we're construction to construction, but it doesn't only mean that type of thing. Whatever you're doing that you can, spread your livelihood and in your love to other people is, helps the world be a better place, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. You see a need and you meet it. And it's that simple. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. The smallest thing of opening a door for somebody, saying hi and being nice to them could just brighten their day up. You never know what you can do for somebody by just being vulnerable yourself.
Right.
For sure.
And
Yep.
it, has these last couple of comments that, I'll mention as well that says if you find yourself failing at your job, you don't, I'll paraphrase this because it was a long explanation. It's not that you suck. It's not that you're incompetent. You're just at the wrong job for your abilities and your skill sets.
Oh,
Everybody has their strength, your niche. Just means you haven't found it. And there's I know we tend to look bad on job hopping, and sometimes there's the people that are abusing the system. But for the most part, you don't want to get stuck at a job that you're not good at or that you can't do or you're failing at. Find what you're good at so you can actually have a purpose with what you're doing. And
Yeah.
And that also comes into the fact of you already being a genius, since the genius habit is you're already great. You just got to find what you're great at,
Yeah.
So
Just channeling it. Just channeling it the
channeling
right
it.
way. Yeah.
And
You lied to me because you told me I was already a genius, but I have a bunch of work to do. Apparently, that's kind of what this sounds like to me. So, no, I mean I get that too, and
yeah,
I by nature am a giver. That's my love language, and
we have discovered
whether
that
it's my
completely.
parents or my wife or my kids, but that's my love language. So that brings me joy, and that's not my
Yeah.
whole purpose, right? But that's to your point. You have to find those things that bring you joy too,
Hmm.
and that's one of my purposes in life. I think is just to be a giver, and just always been like that.
And there was a note that she said is be positive to the point that you create an environment around you. And this isn't just at work. This is at work. It's at parties, at your family life, whatever. Is be positive to a point that you create an environment that also allows and encourages the other people around you to thrive as well.
Mm.
So that joy and purpose does definitely link up together. So
It
if
sounds like a pretty awesome book.
it is, and I looked, it's one of those self-help books, so it was in the 20s, but um, I just did a quick search. It is all over Amazon and eBay, for very good pricing. So if y'all are interested, I think it's worth, and we're not sponsored. This lady has no idea who I am. This is just me
Right.
bringing something on that, we talk about a lot of BS on this show. We have a good time. But we also try to be positive people. And, sometimes I want to bring this up, and I think it's a good way to go. So if anybody is interested and you're into, reading or looking into yourself, that is one hell of a way to go. So appreciate
Yeah.
the feedback, Ryan, because there was I was very curious to hear, your side of some things on that, just because of, what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the older we get, I find that I'm constantly working on something. Just
Hmm.
and if you stop working on something about yourself, then it's probably not a good sign. But there's always something you can work on. I mean, just always.
Absolutely.
My
Yeah.
dad had the phrase. He said, "You never stop learning. If you have, you're dead."
Right.
That's true. Yeah.
Whether you're doing it on purpose or not, you're constantly learning something. Whether you're doing it on purpose, going back to school, or you're talking to your friends and you're learning. There's always something to grow and learn with. So life is a pretty much a permanent progression.
Hmm.
Yeah, and like what we learn is a tool for others too that might be going through things or struggling
Definitely.
in different areas. I mean that's what's so great about what we go through because we're on the other side when we're coming through it, we can look back and go, oh man, really wasn't as bad as I thought it was. And then you're talking to someone later down the road and they're going through something similar, and you're like, I can help you, dude. I've been there. I've gone through what
Hmm.
you're going through.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's really cool about even the cigar world. I mean, we have so many people in so many different areas and live across the country that we've come across, and you talk to them and just learning about their life and stuff. It's just an awesome family.
And the more we've gotten into things, just doing this, what we're doing right now, is having the chance to meet and talk with some incredible people, and you find that this is a business, but a lot of this business is built on the relationships you make with people, down all the way up from the manufacturing side down to the consumer sitting at the lounge having a good time with each other. That brotherhood that we tend to speak as friendship therapy here goes deep in the cigar world. So it's not. I say that it's unrelated, but it's really. I guess it's really not. Because your friendships and bonds go hand in hand with this just as well.
Yeah.
For
But
sure.
I will say, going back to the cigar, while you were talking, I started getting hints of chocolate. It's not super strong for me, but it's kind of sprinkled in there a little bit.
Yeah, the bacon spice kind of like hides it a little bit, but it is definitely there.
I noticed that the texture of my smoke changed quite a bit into the second, third, where it almost built a little
Yep.
chalky texture up, which is
I
good. I like it.
I had more chalky closer to the beginning. I started pulling that and um, kind of it said that you could expect some wood. It's there, but it's subtle as well. Not enough that I would say it's a forefront whatsoever. Um,
Mm-mm. I'm not getting a
I
whole lot of wood.
just I'm talking just a touch. Like it's not like those ones where you can you feel like it's a bright cedar or a deep oak or something like that. It's just enough of that dry tone. But I think it works. I think it works well. I think the baking spice, even though it's not intense, is probably the most consistent flavor I'm getting out of it, though.
Yeah, I kind of have a mixture of chocolate and cinnamon. That's kind of what I've had the whole way.
And it's
Would you say these are $8 to $9? What are they?
right at $9. So if you're getting a single, looking at Cigars Daily right now, if you're getting a single, it's $9. The box is a 21 pack box. It's 171.
Interesting. They threw that extra one in there.
Yeah, and that makes them $8. So
Yep.
Must be 3 rows of 7 then, huh?
that's yeah. Actually, that's what it looks like on the picture of the box. So
Yeah, a little over $8 if you buy them by the box.
yep, it's right over $8.
It's
It's a
pretty
good
solid
pricing on
eight
the too.
dollars. It's a solid $8 stick for sure.
Agreed.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's the first, not smoking this one before. It would be one that I would definitely smoke again for sure.
So yeah, I think we need to work on a $10 to $6 to $10 list too at some point.
Right.
That needs to be one of the other lists we come up with.
And
That
the
one's going
reference
to be long though. I think we need to do a top 10 in that range because
That's going to
we
be
might have
hard to narrow it
there's
down.
so many options between 6 and 10 that are, I think, phenomenal.
and if y'all watching the show, the reference is the next time that we can get all four of the OGs back on the show, we're going to accumulate a top 5 budget sticks that are under $6. So I'm not opposed to doing that. Doing them in price ranges and seeing, okay, we'll do the 6 to 10 because that opens up a lot of things. There's a lot of really killer cigars in that range.
And it'll help a
Sure.
lot of people that are getting into it too, because sometimes you get overwhelmed with all these drops at $18 sticks and stuff, and you're just like, man, you feel like you're breaking the bank, and you don't have to. You
Don't
know, you can find plenty of smokes that are average price, lower end, budget smokes even. You might not get the change in the flavor all the way through, but it's going to have a flavor and it's going to go through the cigar the whole time. So
And as Chad and I have discussed several times recently, you don't always need the transition. If you have a good cigar that's solid on flavor, construction is on point, and it stays the same the whole way through, great. You know,
yep.
the transitions are fun, they're cool, they're exciting, but it's not required to have a good cigar. So, um, you just want, like Kevin said when he asked him to make his Trash Panda cigar, he just asked him to make a damn good cigar. That was his instruction.
But,
It's like,
and he asked his friend, which helps because his friend knows what he likes, right? So he
Exactly.
probably has a kind of a guide on Kevin's top 10 cigars, and he can go,
I'm
okay,
sure.
I think make something in this wheelhouse.
Sometimes just having a solid smoke is really the goal.
The problem with my list at 6 to 10 is I'm going to be hard pressed to not have it 70% Fuente.
Fuente.
The rest would be Hoya probably for me. So
Yeah, it's
Fuente and Hoya.
I mean, but that's the good thing. We'll have all four of us build them, so we can see what we all come together and take the 40 cigars that we pull together and see how we can bring that down into maybe a top 10 as a group.
I did forget about one of my favorite less than 10 sticks, though, the bronze back.
That is
Back
Oh,
is
yeah.
so good for $9.
well.
Yeah.
It made Half Wheel's #1 cigar of the year.
Number
so-
one. Yep.
Yeah, that's impressive at $9. You know, $89 for 10 of them.
Oh, we
Look
see
at
the
that.
band.
See the band?
The little bird on there, I thought
Little
that was
bird
cool
on
too.
top,
Kinda
yeah.
helps you
Yeah.
get
And it
come
get a
right
hold of
off.
it, tear it off too. Yep.
Didn't do nothing to the cigar. You gotta love that.
That is kind of cool with the bird being right there on
Setting
the
above. Yep.
because that's your entry point to taking the band off, which I probably need to do now myself.
So is that on every band then? That little Blackbird?
I
I'm
think
assuming
it
probably
is.
right. He probably carried it across his whole line because his bands are all identical too, except the colors and names, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all it is. I'm pretty sure the birds on all of them. But yeah, it just changes the coloring changes and the name right here changes. The rest is the same design, so consistency.
I'd seen this cigar, I don't know, 50 times in passing on, Facebook or whatever, rummaging through sales sites, and I always thought it was Coco. And I didn't realize it was Cuco.
Well,
I thought it was COCO. I was like, oh, I bet you that cigar tastes like Coco.
right. Yeah, it's every for obvious reasons, everything in this line, I think all of them, unless there may be something I don't know, but I think all of them are literally named after some sort of bird,
Yeah.
Bird.
if I'm not mistaken.
So this is
So
like
is
a
it-
cuckoo bird.
Yeah, see, is a cuckoo like a cuckoo? Is that what it's supposed to
Yeah,
be?
probably is.
Yeah.
Search that. That's probably what it is.
Yeah, it's what it is, cuckoo. So I
Yeah.
said Cuco, but when you pull it up, it's cuckoo. I'm not sure how I'm pronouncing this right. It's cuckoo or cuckoo but yeah,
I thought the real spelling was CUCKOO.
it is.
Like for like cuckoo clock or
This is apparently that's just a slang spelling of the cuckoo bird.
or it may be not so much the slang, but it might be regional. Like this might be the more Spanish spelling, and the way I'm spelling it might be the more German spelling or whatever, right? Like who knows?
And the
Yeah.
Might be
let's-
regional.
So the scientific name is cuculidae, or I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, but it's CUCU. So it's probably a blending of the different spellings.
Yeah, because even
Good
this
marketing.
is CUCO, right?
Oh, hey, hold on. Here we go. Okay. There is hey, what do you know? Website called ebird.org if you want to know about birds. ebird.org. There is I'm not sure if I'd say it, I guess maybe a variant of the cuckoos. It's the Cuco chicra, but it is spelled Cuco.
Huh? There
It's
you go.
It's in the same family. It looks very similar. It's just it's a ash gray variant.
I honestly
cool.
don't know what a cuckoo bird looks like, so couldn't tell you. Except for the little one that comes out of the clock. That's probably not a real
So-
good live representation.
It looks pretty close. So it's mostly an ash gray bird, and the eyes are just stark black center, yellow with an even brighter yellow band. So the eyes will stick at you like they're staring at you like Chucky.
Hmm.
Well, that goes along with the gray for the band. Then that's pretty
Yep.
cool.
So they knew what they were doing on that one. So yeah, ebird.org. We might be using this website whenever we smoke a Blackbird cigar.
You have to keep that right on you got to put it on your favorites tab.
Right? But
This is definitely going to be a favorite one of mine. This is a good smoke. It really is.
It is. It's very good. And I'm a lot farther along than you guys are. I took my band off eons ago, it seems like. But it's not getting any more intense or staying nice and smooth and
Yeah, it's
no bad taste.
very consistent. And
Yep.
I like saying this point. You have a lot of cigars when you get in the second half, especially that last third, it starts getting real soft up here.
Hmm.
It's only soft for me that back inch, what you expect, because that's where it's actually burning at. Up here,
Yeah.
where it's getting warm, it's not breaking down. It's staying solid. So the construction is very well. I've been very
Yeah,
impressed on that part.
this one for me, construction was an A. There's not one single thing wrong with this.
No. And considering all three of us did V cuts and none of us are having any complaints about the wrapper, peeling off or the cap trying to split or anything like that.
I'll even
Nope.
try to make it do it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I don't even have any flake to pull on at all.
Me either. I'm trying to get something to come up, but nothing's coming up. Super construction.
Super construction. That is definitely a 5 out of 5 on that mark.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I did get a little teeny. You see that?
Oh,
Um,
let me blow you up because. Oh,
I got,
just
that guy, I got that guy to stand up right there. D minus.
D
no,
minus.
please stand up. Please stand up.
I don't even think that counted. There was probably a piece of tobacco that came out of the
Right.
cut. No, it actually was a little lip edge, but I was really roughing it up to try to get that to move.
Yeah, but you had to purposely do that to get that.
Oh, I was literally like roughing it up with my thumb, trying to get something to move. It was never going to come up on its own.
I do like how in the middle of this it's gotten that pepper on the very back side of it though, because I do enjoy that on mine. So this is it's a little not super heavy on the pepper, just subtle, but it's nice. Just kind of
Yeah.
sits in my palate.
I'm not a huge pepper guy, and usually that'll offend me. This has not offended me at all. I could do without the pepper most of the time. But
Did you,
this
Chad?
is a
Did you
great
retro
cigar.
this one yet?
Oh, I've been retroing
That's a
it all the
stupid
way
question.
through.
What do you
Yeah.
feel on the retro?
Well, it's changed a little bit. It was like cinnamon, chalk, and chocolate, but let me. It hasn't changed a whole lot. Chocolate.
Okay.
I'm getting cocoa, more cocoa than anything on the retro, and a little bit of pepper.
That's where I'm getting the most cocoa from is on the retro. I get
Yeah.
just that touch of chocolate inhaling, but I get a lot of it when I retro. And you're right, there's not a whole lot of I like that term offensive pepper. There's not a whole lot of it. It's just there.
When I think about pepper, I think about like white pepper and black pepper is kind of how I differentiate it. And for me, it's like the white pepper is a little more palatable. That's how when I don't even know if white pepper is a thing, but it's not the same.
Yeah,
as like
it is.
breathing in black pepper. Like
Yeah.
that would make you sneeze, right? So that's how I always equate it.
This is one thing that we talked about this with Kevin, where sometimes people go a little too far in definitions. But on the peppers, there's 3 peppers, and I agree with red, white, and black. They all exist. If you go get, if you're one that likes to ground up your own pepper, you go get, the container that has pepper. You can get the rainbow pepper that has all 3 in it, and they're all 3 slightly different. Black pepper, everybody knows that's the most common seasoning pepper on the planet, probably. White pepper is just a little bit brighter, so it's not as harsh. And then you have that red pepper that has your spice kick. So that one is legit. There are 3 definitions of pepper, and I do like that some, like if you have, one that's got more of a spice hit to it, sometimes they'll reference it as red pepper instead of just pepper, because that one makes sense to me.
Right.
Like
also red pepper they use a lot is termed more like a sweet pepper, and that's more of a tasting note, which that's a very common tasting note in cigars. I think it's like a sweet pepper, but I do like that. That's a great flavor as well. But
I do. They may just depend on how spicy it is, whether it pulls the sweet or it gets, more intense, I guess. Not sure of the right word there.
I think they're almost two different things, right? Like people say red pepper,
Red pepper and
but
sweet pepper.
sometimes they're talking about, table pepper, or they're talking about the pepper that
Bell
grows
pepper,
out of the,
yeah.
Right.
bell
Like
type.
a red pepper.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yep, for sure.
Because that one does have, little sweet notes, That's why they go great in fajitas. They have a little bit of a sweet, heat to them.
Yeah, this has a lot of baking spice in it, I would say.
Definitely.
The cinnamon right off the hit, and then it's kind of like cinnamon nutmeggy all the way through. I'm getting a little bit more of that chalky smoke too, which I like. I don't know if it's because I'm smoking it a little faster, but
Yeah,
good.
I can't say that I specify to cinnamon, but I can definitely like that baking spice. Just overall general feel. It's been there almost the entire time for me. I think I said it early on, and it's still there and going strong. I got nothing bad to say about this. We could very solid cigar. I'm happy with it.
What are the other ones that we have? Did you ever look on your list? 'Cause I
Oh,
think I have one with a purple band. Does that sound right?
so let me.
Rook, maybe?
I started looking and I got distracted. So
Rook, I think, is one of them.
yeah, so you've got the Rook. You've got the Rook, and this one, and maybe the only one I've sent you so far. I think the rest of them are still in the later drawer. But I know I've got
The much later drawer.
the
You should
much
see
later
my drawer right now. There's no room for anything later, man.
I know that's whenever we finish this list of a crap ton of cigars, I literally have another drawer set aside, so we just keep on rolling. So
There's
Any-
60 cigars in that bag.
anytime I find cigars that I whether they're in a pack or a box or anything that I think that I want to bring on the show, I purposely pull a few and set over here to the side so I don't smoke them all. So
Just my one bag for. I have a bag for Ryan. There's probably still 10 in there. I have a bag
Yeah.
for Justin. There's 10 in there. I have a bag for OG. There's 20 in there.
yeah,
I have a bag for Derek. There's 6 or 8 in there.
yep,
And then I have our bucket, which has 20 other or more. So there's 50, 60 cigars there. No problem.
yep.
Yeah, my tabletop is full of the ones for us for the show. I mean,
It gives us a lot of choices, things that were planned, but gives us choices whatever we're feeling like smoking and reviewing that day.
What do you
Which is
use
also-
otherwise, Ryan? Do you have do you use like the system?
I got a Herf, the
The
cooler
big cool.
Herf.
Yeah, those are cool. I
Love
like
That thing
those.
is awesome. I think it's awesome. And then I
You
had
guys
some
all
for
have
Danners,
those,
too.
yeah. I
That
like
thing
those.
is
They're
fantastic.
neat.
Like, I've got, I know I've said it, but I've got my smaller electric, the Audu, that I keep some boxes in, and then I have the drawer. That's the one I pull from as I rotate through that Herf cooler door.
Mhm.
Is that has all my singles, and once the first in first out I mentioned, when they get to the top, I put them in that drawer and I'm pulling them out of my electric. But then my bigger electric, it's not big but bigger, the 70 liter, the bottom again I have some boxes in there, but then I have that extra big drawer of my for later smokes that I set to the side so I don't smoke them. And then
Is
I've
that the
got
stuff like your Bamba and that kind of stuff you put in there, or like
No,
your high-end stuff that you're
that's
trying to?
the drawer that I'm referencing, like for show sticks that I haven't sent y'all, the things that I get in that I'm like,
Oh,
I
okay.
want to keep a few of these. So I put them in a separate drawer that's away from my to smoke drawer so I don't accidentally grab it.
Accidentally, burn them on, light them
Yeah.
on fire.
But my the top, that Perfador has 3 trays in it. My bottom 2, the ones I'm rotating on my singles. The top is where I have, my upper premiums. The Fuentes and the Septimos and Dunbarton, Placencia, that sort of stuff is up there separately. So if I want to smoke specifically want to smoke a more premium stick, they're right there together.
Yeah, you don't care on the order of that. You just whatever you're feeling that day. If you want a good
Yeah.
one, you just grab one, right?
Yeah, those, it's just when I want a good cigar, I go grab those. It's all the singles and the event cigars and the samplers, all that stuff is I rest and rotate, so that's random. But my premium cigars that I buy on purpose, like I buy boxes of or whatever, those are separate, so I can go grab those whenever I'm in the mood for one.
Well,
It's just the singles that I draw out long and rotate.
I kind of do the same thing with I have my big stand up, and as I go through boxes, I'll work out of my boxes periodically. But I basically, to make room, I break down the box and then stick it in my need one, and then I start smoking them out of my racks in my need one, and that's kind of I smoke most of what I'm smoking on a daily basis out of my electric.
Yep.
Anymore, so
Do you pretty much wait till the box is, like half empty or a third empty or something like that before you break it?
yeah. If I get it down to about a half, then I'll just take it, pull it right out, and then empty it into my need one. And
Or if he gets a new order, he's got to make room.
well, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you have to do that, right? So you got to make room. You got to make room sometimes, right?
That's what you do when you tell your friends in the group chat that you spend a lot of money and you're not going to buy cigars, so you're set. And then the next day you're showing us all this swag and stuff that you got from Secreto. So, you got to make room somewhere.
We do remember his New Year's resolution that he was going to be better at this.
Yeah.
Well, I may or may not have an order showing up today too. I don't know.
Hey, I did too. So I got the sampler pack from Kevin from the Miami.
Did you? You got the laces
the cigar
out?
prop. Yeah. No, the cigar prop sampler.
That one looks awesome.
So
Pat got that too, right?
Yeah, I will shout out, just a free personal shout out, Cigar Bundles of Miami. I learned about who they were from Kevin Shahan's Cigar Prop blog. And I think it's a permanent code, so it may still be there by the time this airs, but Cigar Prop 15 gives you 15% on most things. The only time it doesn't is every once in a while they'll do, buy 3 sampler bundles, get a 4th one free. But you know those pipe cigars that look like a pipe?
Yep.
That's who does it.
Oh, that's where they're coming. Okay, because VL sent me one of those. Swoop sent me one of those pipe
I
cigars.
did not know that till recently, but apparently they don't make them all the time. So what they do is when they come out, they'll do like a sale. You spend X amount of money, they give you a free pipe cigar in the mix. So that's how you get them.
Freebie. Okay.
But I think there's only 1 or 2 of their cigars that have bands on them. They're all just unbanded, naturally good cigars, full of construction, and they do that to save price. But
why would they ban them? They're beautiful. Like
exactly.
The band would ruin that cigar because it's a piece of art.
It is a piece of art. Every single one of them. They're just
every single. I mean, I smoked the MCB recently. That was from the Cigar Prop sampler. It doesn't have a fancy band. It is just a straight Maduro, and the wrapper still looks amazing. I mean, it is. But all their primary blends, they spend some time crafting those wrappers and the design.
What was in the sampler again? Remind us. Like, was there 3 of each?
The sampler has. Let me.
You can post a pic during the thing, I'm sure, and go, here, look at this.
Yeah, I'll overlay the picture. I'm pretty sure I still have it. So out of the Cigar Prop sampler, you had the MCB, which was like a box press Maduro. This will surprise you, but there's 2 Candelas in the Cigar Prop sampler.
Yep,
there's
not a bad.
There's one straight, just straight Candela. There's one that they call inner piece that's kind of got a yin yang looking thing that's mostly Candela. There's what they call the Green Moon. That's more of a Maduro or Habano. I'm not sure. That's got an overlay of a Candela moon on it. They've got a series called La Bala that is just the various intrinsically wrapped beautiful cigars. There's one of those. And then I don't know if you got yours because it usually has 2 different La Balas, but I got lucky and they put in a Star Stripes, which literally just released not too long ago. It's got like some stars. It's a torpedo at the top. So they're all.
I did get that on mine too.
Got that one.
So is there 1 of each? Is that what you got with the bundle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 6 cigar sampler and it's got 1 of each of those.
And what was the cost? What's your discount?
$30.
$30. Yeah, and the promo code basically took care of like part of the shipping and the tax, basically the way you look at it.
So it's just $30 flat.
They do on their samplers page. They have like even their mainline cigars. They have quote unquote samplers that are 5 packs of each one of these that are still $30. Yep. So you can try whatever you want for really good prices.
Yeah, definitely shout out to Kevin. That was a great find. I'm glad he turned us on.
Absolutely. So
Now, had he worked with them on a project or something? Or
I don't know. I haven't talked to him about it, so I'm not really sure what his connection is with them. I'll hit him up and see what his deal is with them. Or I don't know if he did a project with them or if he just linked up with them. I'm not sure. But either way, I'm glad that he, put them in the blog because I'd seen those cigars and had no idea where these people were getting them from. But that's where they're coming from.
That's
I had
awesome.
one before I even realized they existed because I had that pipe cigar. I've had it for a little
Yeah.
bit.
And I think that they're all Nicaraguan puros. If they're not all puros, the majority of them are. So um, I haven't looked at every single cigar they have to know that for a fact, but I know they do a lot of Nicaraguan tobacco. So
Awesome.
I'm intrigued as I continue going through that sampler to try them because they seem to be fantastic cigars from the feel and the look and everything. Well, gents, you know what this time is.
Yeah.
Time to frown and cry and go back to adulting. But it has been another fantastic show. And Ryan, thanks for coming on and thanks for the feedback. I said we've been talking about bringing the points of that book and the positive thoughts for a little bit, but definitely wanted your input for some obvious reasons. I figured that was a good thing to do. And
I appreciate it.
so love the shed update as well. We're always interested
That's
to see
right.
how this is going along.
So, do you have a pellet stove, or is that a wood burner? Like, is it
It's
hardwood
a
or
wood
pellet?
burner. Yeah,
Right
wood
on.
burning. Yeah, it was one that I had in the house before. We
Mm,
remodeled. This was a freestanding one. I remodeled and put LVP, the luxury vinyl planks in, and this one just radiated too much heat for it. So I did an insert in the fireplace area, and then I brought this one out here. So,
nice.
Right on.
yep, dual purpose, recycle. That's what this whole
Full
shed
purpose.
is about, man.
Hell yeah. It's 2/3 of the triple system. What is it? Reduce, reuse, recycle.
That's right.
That's all I
Well,
got left. Ryan's got
I'll
like
leave.
a half a smoke left.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, well,
I'm about where Ryan's at, I guess. Pretty close.
I've been puffing pretty hard on this. I must like it.
Yeah, right. Well, another good show, gents. Appreciate the conversation, the friendship, as always. And Hollow Down family, we're glad you came out with us and watched and listened. And hope you found some uplifting moments from this one. A little different style, but hopefully it does something good for you. So until next time, stay safe and hollow down.
Take care.
see ya.